Hello guys, this is me, Lordson, and I have just bought a new graphic card for my brother. It is the RX 580, the XFX version, and I'm just going to unbox it and show you a little bit about how the card, what it looks like. Yeah, so here we are, and this is actually, I will just start off by explaining a little bit. And I am coming from my computer era. I'm born 1980 and I got my first PC in 1994, but never mind that, in 2011 I bought my first composed computer, where I bought, every motherboard and chassis and power supply unit and all parts for themselves, and just built it together. And there came my first computer research, really, and how everything did fit together. And that's 6 years ago. And then I bought the AMD 6950, and I was very pleased with that card. It was an XFX 6950 HD. 2 GB GDDR5 memory, 800 MHz, 1250 memory clock. But anyway, that card did hold for me for 6 years. So only in the beginning of this year, 2017, I bought a new card. Now, I should say that I have not been a AAA gamer in that sense, that I played only the most demanding games. But so that card has worked for me until now. I played World of Tanks, World of Warships, Company of Heroes, games like that. And then For Honor was released, and I thought, and I could still play For Honor with my 6950, but I wanted to play that in a better sense, so I bought a new card. And that was not the RX 580 actually. That was the XFX 480 card that I bought for that. That's this card, and I bought that in the beginning of this year. And this is the Polaris version, and they released this card in the summer of 2016. And the XFX version, I think, was released in the autumn or in the late summer, or somewhere there. Don't hang me for it, but I bought it in the beginning of this year, and it works quite fine. Now, this card is clocked at 1338 megahertz, so remember that, because what has happened now is that these RX 480 series is a mid-range card, but they have rebranded it. Now it's an RX 580, but it is almost the same card, and I will explain that. The RX 580 XFX has been released in 4 different versions, and those versions came in one 4 GB card and 3 8 GB cards. And as you can see here, they have the gold version, to say, is RX 580 GTR-S Black Limited Edition overclock, and that card is coming in at 1430 megahertz, and you can overclock it to 1450. Now you can read for yourself. You can see there is a 580 GTS Black Limited Edition, the silver version, and that is this card that you see in front of you now. And then there is another cheaper version that is coming in at 1366 true megahertz, and the true megahertz is where the card is clocked at. So when you put it in the computer, that is what it will run at. The OC version is what you can push it to in MSI, Afterburner, or Wattman, or whatever you use. And as you can see, there is very little overhead room from, for example, in this version, the silver version is coming in at 1405 megahertz, and you can overclock it to 1425. Okay, that is almost nothing. You don't really need to bother about it, because you won't maybe get 1 frame, maybe 2, 3. You won't make make any notice about that. But what I want to say is that the RX 480 also came in at 1338, and this card I could clock up in MSI Afterburner to 1400 and run it stable. So I could buy 480 at 1400 stable running, very cool, everything's fine. And then you can buy this card released almost a year later, and this is almost not any difference. So that is what I want you to know first of that. If you have an RX 400 series and you want the corresponding version of the 500 series, don't bother. This is a card for people that want to upgrade now and want a mid-range card. So that is what this card is for. So we just take a look at the card itself, and just so you can see what it looks like. It's 2 fans, red. They are supposed to be new kind of fan design, so they should be 10% more quiet than ordinary fans, and 10% better airflow through them. You can see we have this pointy edge that is new, a little bit of design for XFX on this particular card. In the front, it just looks like that, and on the back side we have a plate, a black plate that is protecting. You can see it's glassy now, but the plastic is still on, and I want to honor my brother, so he has to remove it himself because it's actually his card and he's not home yet, he's away. But that is what it looks like. And we have an 8-pin connector, and here is also, I don't know if you can see, it's so small the camera doesn't focus in on that, but here is a switch, a bias switch, so you can switch between 2 relays. The XFX logo is coming in, but it is not LED. I don't think so, because I have looked in here and I see nothing. I might be wrong, it's very dark. I should get a flashlight. Let's see. No, there is absolutely nothing that contacts with the plastic, so that should be that white color. In the 400 edition I had a white LED behind those letters. If you're interested in the connectors, here we've got the connectors, and you got 1 HDMI, 3 display ports, and 1 legacy DVI port. That looks like that. It's just 1 dash connector on the side. I think this is a digital version. There is some kind of difference between digital and analog DVI. I'm not expert in that, so don't hang me for that either. You have to look that up yourself if you use such a port. Other than that, this side can look into the card. It's not so spectacular, really. And what I can say is that the 400 edition did run very cool, and I suppose this card will as well. I don't think that is a problem. Alright, thanks for watching, and just be ready, because I might do some other tech stuff if I get hold of it here on this channel. Thank you, and bye for now.